What's good, guys? Your boy, Hugo the Savage, back again for another Raw review. Hey, let's get it, man. Monday Night Raw, 19th of September 2022. It's good to be back, of course. You already know the rules of the channel. I'm not going to explain myself anymore. Always come on, explain all this business and that. I'm really not going to do that anymore. But I hope everybody's well. I hope everyone's safe, keeping themselves healthy. Obviously, we're here to chop up Monday Night Raw, which, depending on where you are on the planet, was not long ago, or it felt like it was yesterday, or it was this morning, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, very good to be here. I'm gonna decided to do it a little bit different. I think I've been myself on these Raw reviews, and I've been trying to do the professional thing. And let's be quite frank. What is professional really? I've always done stuff the way I want on this channel. You know, we don't have no rules on it over here, apart from no rumors, and spoilers. So yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit less structure to the show. I got obviously talking points throughout the show, but the thing is, if I do the Raw in the regular structured way, then what tends to happen is we get stuff that, we end up talking about stuff that nobody really cares about. Um, on top of that as well, I'm quite aware that depending on where we are on the planet and stuff like that, some people will be in bed right now. I think if you're probably in the United States, New York, or something like that, you're in bed. If you're in LA, you're probably in bed. And that's a large part of the Demon team. The other large part of the Demon team in the UK are at work and at school. So we're gonna have to change something up about the Raw reviews. What I think I might do going forward, and obviously you guys let me know in the comment section. For the people who come in later, let me know in the comment section, because obviously I know that for some of you I'll get comments saying you missed it, or you didn't get a notification, or you just missed it because of the time scale. Let me know what's best for you guys, and I'll find out what the average is, because obviously I'm aware of what times in the UK. You always used to think that maybe around 5 p.m. in the UK, them times, what I used to do Savage Talk, probably the best time to do the streams, because if you're in a different part of the country, a different part of the planet, you'll probably be around midday. It's best for everyone. Could do a late one as well. I could do 8 p.m. them kind of times, and then that way it probably settles everyone better. So you guys have to let me know in the comment section. But what I'm thinking of doing going forward is probably bringing back Savage Talk and just having a Raw segment in there. The only problem is I'm gonna have to change the day what Savage Talk would have been, simply because Savage Talk used to be on a Thursday, and it's 3 days we're waiting to speak about Raw. So what I might do is do it maybe on a Wednesday or a Tuesday evening after NXT. That way we can talk about Raw, we can talk about NXT. Can't really talk about SmackDown, but obviously we have final thoughts on the reviews of SmackDown. On the reaction videos of SmackDown on the weekend. And that way we get the best of both worlds, and then we can speak about whatever news is around the stuff. Obviously not rumors, so I'm not really interested in that. But if there's actual news out there, we'll do that as well. Kind of like today, we've got Survivor Series War Games talk about, which clearly, if anyone's been part of this channel for long enough, you know that that is what I pitched the idea of Survivor Series War Games. I've been speaking about Survivor Series for the last 3 or 4 months, saying how much I hate this concept of Raw versus SmackDown, because it doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, we've got a mole on the channel. I've been saying this for years now, because the ideas, but the thing is, I don't actually mind. Just, you know what I mean? I'm not expecting you to credit me with idea, because you got your own thingy, man. But yo, send something over, like that. Send a little care package over, or yeah, I mean, invite man, give me a couple of tickets, and you know what I'm saying? Because I deserve that still. But yeah, bro, I'll bring back Savage Talk for sure, man. Savage Talk's a bit more fun as well. We talk everything in the wrestling world, and I'll start, covering the news. And I'm not really a gossip, so I don't really. I think that's where my struggle is. I don't like gossiping about stuff that I don't know about, and I don't want to be referred by people as one of these dirt sheet guys who pretend to know stuff, because I actually don't know a lot of the things You know what I mean? Like the stuff I do know. I know a few wrestlers. I know a couple in the WWE. I know quite a few wrestlers on the indie circuit. The ones that I know in the WWE when the time and stuff, obviously I'm not going to say it, because it's quite easy to figure out where it's come from, and it's not fair on that person or those people. Um, and obviously, sometimes you guys know, if you've been part of the channel a long time, you know what people I know in the WWE pretty much already. And yeah, I don't really care about stuff like that. I'm not trying to get clicks off lies and things like that. So, well, we're going to chop up Raw, obviously. About Survivor Series, though, I think it's a great idea. Of course, I do because I came up with the idea. But I think it's an incredible idea. I think the whole Raw versus SmackDown thing would be pointless right now. Um, One, because the Raw Tag Team Champions and SmackDown Tag Team Champions and the Raw WWE Champion and the Universal Champion are the same people. And even if you went into going NXT, the North American Champion's part of the Bloodline as well. So what you would have is usually you'd kind of evolve the tag teams going against each other. So unless you're going to get Roman against himself and the Usos against themselves, it ain't going to happen. Also, nobody really reps their brand. I think Roman kind of does. I think Roman always calls SmackDown the Isle of relevancy, but that's because of him to being the tribal chief, nothing to do with the brand SmackDown. And I don't think we've had anybody repping the brand of SmackDown like properly or Raw for a long time, probably since like Braun and Dean Ambrose and them people that, you know what I mean? Obviously, the big Becky gimmick came from, um, I think it was Siege 1. I really enjoyed that, by the way. You know what I mean? As much as I'm saying I don't want it to be like that anymore, but I really enjoyed when it was SmackDown under Siege and stuff like that. Some of the best segments backstage I've seen. And obviously, Becky got her nose bust open on accident by Nia. And, you know, the bloody image of Becky on the stairs in the crowd. Yeah, he gave birth to the man. So, you know, it can elevate people. There's been a few situations in wrestling away from like gimmick pay-per-views or gimmick stuff that haven't worked out. The one that I wanted to work out more than ever was the when Xavier Woods won King of the Ring, but clearly it didn't do anything, and it didn't do anything when Shinsuke had it either. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's November 26th. We'll definitely do a live watch along for it. I'm really excited for it already. I'm guessing. I think they said that there's going to be 2 War Game matches, which is likely to be. It's going to be the men and the women. The way wrestling's going now, I wouldn't be surprised if the women are like the Bailey Buddies, and then like Bianca, Alexa, and Oscar, and then 2 others on each side. And that it could be like that. I really would like it to be where the stories between everybody in the matches. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you do the men's one, you have like Drew, baby, basically the heels versus the baby faces. So you'd have Drew on one side, on the other side you'd have Roman and Carrion and a couple other people, Sheamus. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm going with that. The other side can have Drew, Nakamura, Ricochet, maybe. You know what I'm saying. So I think it'll be very interesting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait now. We have Crown Jewel coming up. We ain't spoke about that either. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Another thing that I said a while ago. I know a lot of people said to me they don't like the Pauls and that, and I was like, you're getting it confused with Jake at the time. But I think it can be dope as well. I think if it was on a regular pay-per-view, I wouldn't be behind it. The fact that it's at Saudi Arabia makes sense to me. It's where all the gimmicks go down. Then the Saudi Arabia events have been known to be trash, really. The last couple have been good though. Um, so yeah, the gimmick goes down there. People kind of treat it as if something like, you know what I mean? It's on in the midday. No, not everybody watches it. Um, so yeah, I expect Roman to win that. I don't think, which it should pretty much squash Logan, to be honest. But I know they're not going to do that. They'll have Logan pull off some high flying moves and look like he's going to get the edge on Roman for a bit, and then Roman will beat him. I really hope they don't have like the Usos or Solo or Sami Zayn helping Roman to beat Logan Paul, because that won't look well on Roman's character. He doesn't need help to beat Logan Paul, someone who's not a professional wrestler. Well, he is a professional wrestler. Let me get that straight, but he hasn't been a professional wrestler for very long. So yeah, maybe Logan goes down like the college style wrestling to get one over on Roman. But I'll tell you one thing, which is not going to happen. If Logan Paul ever beat Roman, I promise you, I'm not doing no more wrestling channel. I'd get rid of it. In fact, I'll just change it. I'll change everything. I'll delete all the wrestling videos and go do something else, because that can't happen. You know what I mean? But we need people to fight Roman, so I'm here for that. I'll try to achieve Roman. Yeah, of course he will. Okay, let's move on to Raw, because obviously you or the guys know I'm here for a short time, and yeah, I mean I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So the Raw kicked off today. Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins. Now, what happened in this match is what I said was going to happen last week when they said they were going to have them. I told everybody last week that this Seth and Riddle thing, and I said about the Judgment Day and Rey Mysterio and all that thing, is going to continue to keep going every single Raw, and we know the pattern by now. There's a there's a brawl that ensues between Seth and Riddle at some point in every single Raw. Whoever gets the better of the other one, when the next guy has the match, that person interferes in the match, cost them the title or cost them a match or whatever. And then the following week, the other one attacks the other one. And it's been like that back and forth since before they had a pay-per-view match. This one went exactly the same. Great. It was a really good match between Lashley and Seth, to be honest. There was big parts in it what were like great. There was a part where Seth went for a curb stomp and he couldn't get Bobby Lashley's body down due to the strength of his body and stuff like that. There was parts in the match where he did get a curb stomp. It looked like both of them were going to win. In the end, I think what happened was he got Seth in the hurt lock, and Seth was trying his best to get out of it, and he was close to it. They fell on top of the referee. Nah, we know how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain about this because Earl Hebner's been doing this since I was a kid, man. You get hit in the back of your head, there's a ref. Doesn't matter how soft it is, you can't get up for some reason. So, yeah, obviously the ref's unsighted. He's in a hurt lock. Seth gives him a low blow. It looks like he's going to go for a curb stomp and win the match. And then Riddle's music comes off. Bruh. He runs down to the ring and doesn't go in the ring. And yeah, when he turns around, spear, 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley retains. Do think it was the way to do it. I do think it was probably the best way to keep them both looking strong. Although it doesn't do anything for Lashley beating Seth. It would have 3-4 years ago. Seth loses so much now that anyone who beats him is like, okay, whatever. So very interesting. Callie said he liked the match. That was a good match. Hey Savage, who do you think is behind the White Rabbit stuff? The White Rabbit stuff's a bit weird, to be honest, because I know that the initial thought of everyone is Bray Wyatt because of Rambling Rabbit, but it doesn't really make much sense that that's the person to go to. Be something you know what I mean? If it was to do with Bray, I'm sure we would have said something to do with Abby and the Buzzards and you know what I mean, all that stuff. I know that previously Killer Cross, well, Karrion Cross now, his name before was White Rabbit. So in my eyes, it's probably something to do with Karrion Cross. Don't think he's going to change his name back to that, but I think he might use some of that gimmick. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it's weird that they're testing it at house shows or off TV though, because clearly they know what social media is like. But they played the song White Rabbit last week on SmackDown, and they've done the red light, which is why people thought it was going to be Bray. And now I don't know if you guys saw that there was a QR code that popped up, and if you click on the QR code, it takes you to something on a website and that like that. So I think it's something to do with Karrion. I will say they're not doing a very good job of it. Because if you're only showing it to some people are hearing it through the grapevine, some people are hearing rumors and stuff like that. Don't really work out too much. So I would say for them to do better, but yeah, always something interesting. Yeah, I don't really mind. She said demon on it. Yeah, but Karen ruled himself out of the picture. It's wrestling, bro. It's not real life. So whether he rules himself out or not, it's complete. You know what I mean? Could be nothing to do with any of them. It could be a brand new character that we don't know anything about. But if you're gonna believe wrestlers saying they've ruled themselves out of stuff, and then I remember when CM Punk said that he wasn't coming back and he came back. Cesaro turned up on AEW and acting like he wasn't going to turn up. Cody was acting like he weren't going to come to WWE and he came to WWE and he told us that. So take what these wrestlers say with a pinch of salt. Now, if they're talking in real life terms, then I'll listen to them every time. Kind of like Aleister Black, obviously recently left AEW. He put out a statement this week talking about basically that the dirt sheets, he said if it doesn't come from him, it's rubbish. So I respect him for that. He's going through some mental health stuff and he's been through some struggles in his life. So we on this channel love Aleister Black in it. So hopefully he takes some time out for himself, spends some time with his missus, has a holiday, relaxes, gets your body sorted. And if you want to come back to wrestling, come back. And if you don't want to come back, enjoy your life, man. You know what I'm saying? There's bigger things. I thought it could have been Dark Alexa. I think the Dark Alexa thing's done now. I think it's over. I think turning her baby face, it's done, bro. It's done. Big up Conway, love brother. I hope you're well. It's not Bray Wyatt because he will return in a bigger pay-per-view like Royal Rumble. It doesn't. You can't rule out that it is Bray Wyatt. I don't think it is, but you can't say it's not going to be him because they're only teasing stuff. This doesn't mean he's going to return now. For all we know, whoever this is or whatever it's about could return at Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? So we'll see anyway. Moving on from there in Raw, and like I said, I'm going to keep it a little bit less structured. So some of the matches might get skipped out. But yeah, kind of deal with it. I think Damage Control came out. They had a celebration of winning the tag team titles. They had the confetti, they cut a promo, and all this business. Listen, I'm going to be trying to be as positive as I can. And the most positive I can be on this was I didn't care about the promo. I don't care about them tag titles yet because until somebody has a long reign as tag team champions, as the women tag team champs, I don't care. I cared when it was Sasha and Bailey, but at the same time, there wasn't enough people to wrestle against. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, obviously they were interrupted by the Three Stooges, you know, Bianca, Oscar, Alexa. Alexa comes out with Lily because she has to, because merch. And she gets into a war of words with Bailey, basically offers Bailey into a match, and then they do have a match after that. So Savage, they played it on Raw as well, my friend. Yeah, no, that's what I said. But you're saying that it was not Bray Wyatt because he's going to come back at a pay-per-view. No one's come back yet, so you can tease stuff on a Raw or a SmackDown and bring them back. I mean, that's what happens. They used to do that with Jericho and stuff like that. So lights went out in the main event, which was strange. It's not strange, bro. This is a $1 billion company. These are not accidents. Do not on purpose. So clearly they know something, but I don't care. I don't want to know what it is. You know what I mean? I want to think and, you know what I mean, speculate and stuff like that and get surprised. I don't understand why everybody wants to know everything. It makes wrestling less fun, if you ask me. So we had a match between Kevin Owens and Austin Theory. They've been beefing for the last couple of weeks. Kind of pointless. I feel like it's just for Kevin Owens to want to fight somebody. They had a little promo into the fight. It was actually a good match, I will say that. I don't know why the fans were chanting "This is awesome" though. I feel like that's a bit overrated now. People screaming "This is awesome." You know what I mean? Do you know what awesome is? Did you watch Rock Austin? Did you watch Triple H Undertaker and Shawn Michaels Undertaker? You know what I mean? Did you watch flipping Gargano and Ciampa? I don't understand why they're just screaming out "This is awesome" to random matches. It's not awesome. It's just good. It's just good wrestling matches. It's either that or the standards have dropped so much that people think regular things are awesome. It's not awesome. But this match was good. There were some good spots in this match. There was a blockbuster move that Theory done. I don't know how he got up that high, but it was incredible. There was a part where Kevin Owens went for like a springboard moonsault. He missed, but it looked dope. Always looks dope when Kevin does stuff because he's so big. Lost a bit of weight to be fair, but yeah. Austin had the upper hand in this match at one point, and then it looked like he was going to go for the win, A-Town, and then he turns. Gargano's got the briefcase outside the ring. I don't care for the Gargano Austin Theory thing, but there's a little bit of history there with the way, and I guess they need somebody for Gargano to go against when he comes in. Only problem they've got is it makes Theory look weaker and weaker, which means us as fans are like, this guy can't cash in and win the titles. Nobody will care. If he cashes in and wins the title from Roman at some point, I'm pretty sure within a month he'll lose that title because nobody's gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if he cashed in on Roman, beat Roman, and then Roman wins it back the week after in a rematch. I'm not even joking, and just takes one title back. So we'll see. Very interesting, but obviously the distraction by Gargano, Theory turns around and then he gets put in a pop-up power bomb and wins the match. Kevin wins the match, and then yeah, Gargano kind of stands over his body with the briefcase. Kind of pointless, but the match was good, so I was fine with that. Next, we had the Sneaky Blinders in the ring, cutting a promo. You guys know that Pete's is my friend, is my guy. Obviously, they've earned a title shot against the Usos. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do this at Extreme Rules. Don't know about this. The match what ensued after was good, so we'll talk about that. But the promo was a bit, I don't know. Ridge Holland on the mic, not a massive fan of, to be honest. He shouts like a wrestler from 1992, and not a good wrestler from 1992. But in the ring, they're both good. Pete's great in the ring. He's one of the best in the world. So they were interrupted by the Street Profits. Got a promo. Pretty much, Street Profits said, "Well done for winning your fatal four-way tag team match, but you didn't beat every tag team because we wasn't there," which is true. So a match ensued between these two. Really good match. Really good match. Good spots. Thought it was dope. There was a part where they did like the 10 beats of the bell for what Sheamus would do, but both of them were doing it to each other. So they went toe to toe with each other. Butch was losing his damn mind. He was biting people's ears. I think he was biting Dawkins' ears. Great, it was dope, man. And I think what happened is, I think Montez went up for the frog splash, um, and Pete grabbed his fingers, give him the wishbone, snapped the fingers apart. Um, and then they got Dawkins with the I don't know what that move's called. They do. It's like a buzz kick. I think it's a buzzsaw kick from Pete to the head, and then a power slam from Ridge. I don't mind this. I don't mind this move. I just think that they should probably. I think Ridge should hold you and maybe like run around the ring with you a bit or stomp on them. You know how like the running power slam was from Braun. I think you should probably do that or spin around, get him dizzy, kick him in the head, then slam him because it looks a bit weak. Pete kicks you in your head, you just drop somebody. But they won. Big victory for them. It made sense for them to win considering they're number one contenders. But what the problem you've got is the Street Profits lost again. And Street Profits are clearly one of the best tag teams around. One of the most charismatic tag teams around on the mic. They're great. And if they're not going to split up, which don't think they need to, or there's not going to be a heel turn or something like that, then why do they just keep losing matches? It feels like they're just bit part, like they don't matter, which is a bit sad. But the game is the game, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I like when Michael Cole said wrong, world strong slam, Mark Henry finisher. Yeah. But yeah, moved on from there. Now there probably a few backstage segments I've missed. So I'll throw a few in there. There was a backstage segment between Riddle and Seth. Yeah, Riddle and Seth backstage. Um and obviously another brawl kicked off in it. I'm kind of bored of them brawling backstage now. Obviously, there's like five men on each side holding them back. They're not the biggest guys, bro. Like none of them are bigger than me. And they should like I prefer wrestlers to be bigger than me in it. But it doesn't take five men to hold them both back. You know what I mean? When it was like Brock and Roman or Brock and Undertaker, it made sense, but they're not the biggest guys, and they're just screaming at each other. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. They're not gonna kill each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, they screamed at each other, and then it's like, "Oh, I'll get you Extreme Rules," and then obviously Riddle's like, fighting pit match, blah blah blah. And I think this is the match he had against Timothy Thatcher before. I think he lost that match, to be fair. But I'm like, they didn't need to do that. They could have just done a. There's still space between now and Extreme Rules. They could have had Riddle come up on the screen or whatever, or Seth can escape, and then Riddle takes the mic and says, "Listen, you're not going to escape me again. Next time we're going to fight in a Hell in a Cell." Or Seth says, "We're going to fight in a Hell in a Cell," and then Riddle's like, "No, we're going to fight in a pit." And then obviously the commentators were like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to do that, Seth Rollins. I can't believe you agreed to the match because it's in the pit. This is Riddle's thing." I'm like, first of all, it's not Riddle's thing because he's lost in there before. Second of all, Seth's beat him twice already, bro. It's not like he's never beat him before. So that was weird. But big up Donald. I love Rich Holland. I'm so happy he's getting pushed. Been a fan of him since NXT and NXT UK. So happy he drafted last year. Let's hope he gets a championship soon. He's never getting a championship. Not in the big ones anyway. Um, United States Championship at best. He'll get the he'll get a tag team championship maybe one day, but I can't see them giving him the big stuff. But yeah, he's good, man. He needs to work on the mic skills and that. But to be fair to him, he doesn't ever get a chance to speak on the mic. So I agree with Cyrus, they don't need to. Yeah, they don't need to lose a match all the time. The Street Profits. Yes, Cyrus, that is true. Cut Angle was the ref. Yep. So very interesting. Moving on from there, obviously, I said about the backstage segment. We have the Judgment Day. They come out to address their recent actions, and I'm gonna side on the fact that I don't know. I don't know everything, can it? Now, if this crowd noise is real, because clearly Dominic doesn't know when they're gonna pipe the crowd noise in if there was gonna do it. So the reaction he's got of not being able to speak because the crowd are overdoing it is real. So I think it was real. And if it was real, this is one of the loudest crowds. This is one of the loudest. He got heat from the crowd on it, and I've never seen someone get heat that loud in the last. I don't know how long. Honestly, I think the last time I remember the crowd being that loud for hate for somebody, which is a good thing for him because he's a heel, was Roman Reigns after he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. Yeah, I think I got that wrong. Yeah, Orlando in it, main event. And then the day after on Raw, I think it was 12 minutes the crowd were booing him for, and he didn't say anything. He just said, "This is my yard now," and walked off. I've not heard anything that loud since. So well done to Dominic for that. Honestly, incredible. If you don't know how wrestling works, then you'll think, "Ha, Dominic, you got booed." Trust me, there was a reason why the rest of Judgment Day was smiling like that, and Rio was like, "I'm proud of you," because it's massive to get heat like that. Incredible. So big up Dominic for that. He really couldn't get a word in. He really couldn't. They wouldn't let him speak. So yeah, well from there, and then we get a little backstage segment in the gorilla position when Rey Mysterio was having his interview, and then him and Riddle come out to fight the Judgment Day tag team match. I think it's Finn Balor and well, you know what it is, I think, because Dominic's not going to fight for some reason. Rhea's not going to be in this match, so it's Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damien Priest. Kind of bored of seeing Damien Priest and Rey Mysterio in the ring. I'm not joking. I feel like I've seen him in the ring like 15 times. But once again, decent match. Good match, in fact, not decent. And obviously, it's going to be a good match because it's got Rey Mysterio in it. It's got Finn. It's got these great wrestlers in it. So, but yeah, obviously they beat down Edge last week, put him out of action. Edge is going to be gone for a bit. I'm not going to speak about that again because you guys know how much it winds me up. But yeah, in between this match, man, Rhea Ripley was doing some stuff. I think there's a part where I think she body slammed Riddle or something on the outside. I can't remember if it was a body slam actually, but it feels like it was. Or sidewalk slam or something. I can't remember, but she was doing the normal stuff, getting involved as usual. Yeah, it was dope. It was a good match. I don't know. Oh no, it was a suplex on the outside. It was a suplex. And then obviously you saw that Riddle at the beginning of the show when for Lashley, he interrupted the match. And so, you know, as I spoke about for the last few weeks, of course Seth Rollins came out and interrupted the match. He came out looking for a steel chair straight away. He got one. Ray took it off him, and then Ray chased Seth away with the steel chair. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. Then he got left with a steel chair in his hand, and then Dominic got on his knees and basically told his dad to hit him, which he wasn't going to do. He wasn't going to hit him. I like the way they made, you know, they had suspense there where it was like, is Ray going to snap? I think what's going to happen eventually is Ray will snap and have to fight him in it. And let me know if you guys want me to do a fantasy booking, just a 10-minute video on what I would do with Dominic and Ray going forward with this. I probably wouldn't keep Dominic a heel forever, but I would have it a certain way where I don't know. I don't know if I want to say it all now and give it away. So let me know if you want a video on it. There's ways to do this with Dominic and Ray to make it seem interesting, and it can culminate in a match at WrestleMania. And I'm sure you guys won't mind the match at WrestleMania. Dominic versus Ray. It's massive. You know what I mean? You can have a build of a great storyline. But what I will say is the best way to build that storyline is get one of these guys to take Rey Mysterio off the screen and take him off screen. And I think that might be the way to do it. So yeah, go down that route. Because I think you have Royal Rumble in January at the end, and then you have March and April. So it's only 8 weeks in it after Royal Rumble that WrestleMania usually is, or 9 weeks, something like that. I think we can do perfect. So yeah. Dominic Mysterio, what sorts of crowd? Yep. Ray was about to hit the sun. Yeah, he wasn't gonna hit him, man. So yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do it. I'm gonna do it different. Like I said, man, I'm trying to work on a few things in that because I don't know why I changed to try and make things more professional for the sake of it. It's my channel. I should just do stuff how the way I want to do it. And I don't want stuff to be perfect all the time. So I'm going to do that video and I'm going to do it how I want to do it. Less structured, but you'll get what I'm saying. So yeah, big up Alexander. I hope you're well, bro. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with that one. I think what happened after that, obviously, because of Seth had took Riddle out. Yeah, when they got that's what it was. When he got back into the ring, Ray, he got the choke slam from Damian Priest, tags Finn Balor, coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. They win again. Used to it by now. They always win. So moving on from there, we have Miz TV. Another thing where, if you guys do not believe me, go back and look at my Raw review, the one with Dexter Lumis on the front of the screen. It might be the cage match. And I pretty much said in that, didn't I, that they should have made it more interesting by having Lumis come through the middle of the ring, because him coming out from the bottom of the ring and climbing into the cell doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, into the cage. Why, if somebody comes from underneath the ring when you're on top of the cage and he has to climb up the cage, you just jump off and run through the door and leave on it. So I said, bring him from underneath the ring. It makes more of an impact. Then Bobby can lock the door, and it's like, oh my God, he's come through. No one can save him because Bobby's took the key or he's thrown it away or swallowed it or something. And today, we have Miz TV. Miz finally tries to address the crowd. He says to everyone, stop asking him about what happened between him and... I feel like it feels like WWE don't know what happened. I feel like they thought that TV 14 or something was going to be sooner, and now they don't know what to do with it, because from the way they're speaking, it sounds like the Miz got violated in some kind of way. I'm not joking. If anyone remembers, like, Michael Cole and was it Heidenreich? Yeah, but it feels a bit weird, bro. Like, if this was not PG era now, you can make this story incredible, because I'm not gonna say the words on YouTube, but you know what I'm saying when I'm saying that Miz looks like he's been violated, bro. You've seen enough movies. They should have had a scene where the Miz was sitting in the shower naked with with in black and white, that just crying in the corner, bro. I mean, it would have had more of an impact here, because I'm sure he's been violated in some sort of way. But yeah, Loomis comes through. Weird thing for me was Ciampa's in the ring with him, innit? So he comes through. The Miz gets scared. He grabs the Miz. He tries to take the Miz under the ring. Ciampa's on the outside of the ring and he watches for ages before he tries to help the Miz. Pulls the Miz out. Then Loomis tries to take Ciampa as well. Ciampa hits him with a weapon in the head. He disappears, kind of. And then the Miz goes to check into the hole where he come from, and he pops his head back out. Now, I have no problem with this. I think the Miz is great. I think Loomis is great. I think Ciampa's great. I think they're at least offering some kind of compelling story, although the stuff that could be different. Because the last thing we saw was Dexter Loomis was in his house last week. There's no explanation to what he was doing in the house properly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then on top of that, he's not doing the supernatural thing. He's just doing the stalker thing, innit? So if this is Undertaker or Kane and or the Fiend, like what the Fiend did with Daniel Bryan, if he pulls you under the ring and the smoke comes up and the lights change, we're watching wrestling. We know what it is, so we can just go, oh my God, the Fiend's taking him. We would have been happy with it. If it's Dexter Loomis, ain't you guys just thinking that if he takes the Miz under the ring, don't Ciampa just lift up the apron and see him under the ring? I don't know where does he go? He's not dragging him to hell. It's not Kane. So I don't understand why they would have done that anyway. Very weird to me. Also, when Dexter Loomis first came through the crowd and took AJ, they were acting like they didn't know who he was, innit? Then obviously he turns up on NXT to meet Indy Hartwell and send the police in and stuff like that. They obviously everyone on NXT knows who he is. Then the following week, all of a sudden, the commentators are calling him by his name, but saying he doesn't have a WWE contract. Not had a match. So he's still a stalker, in it. That's the reason why he's been arrested for being in the Miz's car. He's been arrested for being in the stadium. Then he was let out on bail. Why, when this guy, bear in mind, he cut through the ring with some big Rambo knife. The stalker who's broke into his house, broke into his car, and kidnapped him, came through the ring with a huge Rambo knife to cut through. Where was the security? No police, no security, no referees. Why, when Bailey buddies and the Three Stooges kick off with each other, everybody comes down to the ring? When a stalker who has a big ass John Rambo First Blood blade comes through the ring, nobody comes out. Logic, bro. The little fine tuning things make this show the difference between being a good show and a great show. A great show would have had the police come out. A good show would have had the security come out, and an average show has nobody, which is what happened. So, like I said, I'm not complaining because I like them in it, but seriously, you need to do something about that. So, I wish Edge a speedy recovery. I agree with the Miz. That's Loomis. What the Miz he wanted, AJ Styles. They haven't even explained why he went after AJ first. It's very weird. Got on that as well. Oh yeah, don't keep writing the same thing, Khaled, bro. Do you think Sammy should win the 24/7 title to try and fit in more of the bloodline? Jay and Noy feeling get disrespected Roman smash the title ending. I almost 100% agree with you. I just wish it wasn't the 24/7 title. I said to my son last week that Sammy himself should make a tribal title. So it's just a title made out of like, like the beads to wear around the neck and like some, I don't know, some tribal wood or something like that. Kind of like how Daniel Bryan's old title did, just so he can carry it around with him, just so he can have something on his shoulders. I think you're 100% right on that. Don't want it to be the 27 title though, because the 24/7 title was stupid. Although, if they brought back the hardcore title and made it like that, it could be dope. Savage, no police. It's weird. Big up, bro. I hope you're well, man. Where we go from there? I think we're going to the main event after that. Listen, I'm not. Before you hear me complain about something here, I'm going to try not to complain on it. Listen, I'm not complaining. I'm trying to give positive criticism because I know that there's some moles who take the stuff off this channel. And if you're going to take the stuff, take the good stuff. Why was this the main event, bro? A singles match between Alexa and Bayley. Bear in mind, we had Seth and Bobby Lashley in a title match on this show. They made this the main event while Monday Night Football's on the other channel. I have no idea. But the match was decent. It was good. I'd always love seeing Alexa fight, to be honest. Bayley's great as well. I prefer watching Bayley's character in the ring, wrestling and speaking out loud, and then on the mic. On the mic, she's annoying. But they took out Alexa's leg in this match, and that, so she was fighting with one hand tied behind the back, like theoretically in it. So, but they've got a great story behind each other. So, yeah, Alexa was she was pretty vicious in this match. Pretty vicious, but obviously because of tweaking her knee, Bayley done what a heel should do and attack that body part, and she didn't stop attacking it. So yeah, I'm happy with that part of the match. There was a few spots as I think Alexa with the not somersault, flipping out. What it's like a senton off the table. Obviously, all the women were at ringside in it, so it was hard for them to try and cheat in this match as much. But it was decent. It was decent. But yeah, there was a part of Bailey she hit with the Bailey to belly, didn't work out for her, she kicked out. And then she hit with the rose plant and she won the match, Bailey. The only problem I got with this rose plant move is it doesn't look impactful at all. If you drop somebody, weird thing is when she did it in lockdown, it looked all right, but when you drop somebody from that high, which is about 12 inches off the floor, what impact can you get unless you're doing it as hard as you can? So, like, for example, the curb stomp's about the same level off the floor, but he's stomping on the back of your head. This it doesn't do anything. Like, this looks like a signature move. So I will tweak that, man. You know what I mean? I don't really like the Bailey to belly too much, but that looks more impactful. Obviously, after the match, the fight between the ladies ensued because obviously on the outside while these two were fighting, they all started to get involved and start fighting each other and that. Bianca had a bit of a comeback, tried to take all the ladies out, but it was 3-on-1 at the point, and then she got took out with some of the worst punches I've ever seen from Io Shirai. Io Shirai, for someone who's that good in the ring, you need to learn how to throw punches. I think that goes for all the wrestlers. If you can't throw punches, you shouldn't be a wrestler in it, because I'm dead with the forearms and that. But yeah, once they attacked Bianca, Bailey asked one of them to get the mic, and then she announces on the mic, "Yo, we're gonna have a fight." Blah 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 blah. And then yeah, challenge to a match at Extreme Rules, I think it was. I think that's what she did. The only problem I have with heels challenging people for a title match, I'm like, you can't challenge me. I have the title. What are you talking about? If I don't want to fight you, I don't have to fight you. So I don't know. And obviously, we seem to see Adam Pearce more on SmackDown, I think, than Raw. So they're going to do this general manager thing. Have 2 general managers. They don't have to be people who can wrestle and stuff before, but yeah, it is what it is. Otherwise, activated versus Exhibition should have kicked off Raw. Yep, I agree. Your thoughts on Survivor Series? Oh yeah, Donald, you wasn't here at the beginning. I spoke about it for like 10 minutes at the beginning, but I'm excited for it, man. They've got a lot to live up to because the NXT War Games have been incredible. So you've got a lot to live up to. But I think if they pick the right people in this match, I think it can be incredible. I think it can be dope. I kind of fear that Roman won't be at War Games, but the Usos will. I mean, you could have the whole bloodline in that War Games match. It'll make up the numbers. Usos, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, Roman against Drew McIntyre, Riddle. I don't know. Whoever the baby faces are. Yeah, all them. It ain't gonna happen, but it could. Yeah. I wanted GM on Monday Night Raw. I don't mind Adam Pearce being the GM, to be honest, because they seem to do less work than they did back in the day. The GM back in the day used to be real, a massive part of the storyline, whereas Adam Pearce just looks petrified all the time, and then all he does is he comes out on Twitter after and says it's official. But I'm saying, why the wrestlers able to make their own matches? Usually it was only like the champions, because if a champion wanted to challenge you, then yeah, he's got the championship. But when it's heels, like if I was a wrestler in the way they run wrestling now, and I wanted a championship match, I would just ask for one because that's what everyone else does. We've seen that loads of times. We've seen Becky just assume that she's going to fight Bianca Belair. Can't remember who had a match not long ago. Might have been Ronda or someone. They just said, "Oh, we're going to fight the champion." So very weird to me, man. But that was the main event, and that was the end of Raw. So to give my Raw rating, I think last week I gave Raw 5 out of 10. I don't know yet because the way I explained Raw, just the way I reviewed it, makes it sound like I didn't have fun watching it at all. It's not the truth. The problem is I had fun in the matches. Like the matches were good. Um, Austin Theory, Kevin Owens was a really good match. Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley was a really good match. But the storytelling in this one was a bit average, a bit non-existent, and it seemed like, did all the heels win tonight apart from Bobby? I don't know. Felt like it anyway. A lot of the heels won their matches. Done nothing for anyone. I think we need to get back to putting people over in a certain way. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be meaning to these matches. So I think there's one thing that I said. I love the fact that I've got this channel because I can't lie about stuff. It's there, isn't it? But I said before, no, it was when AEW came out in October 2020, I think. 2019, 2020, 2019. I said at the time that Raw and SmackDown, WWE as a whole, should have a ranking system. Now, do you remember Raw? They did the power ranking system about 3-4 years ago, which was all right. The only thing is the power ranking system wasn't based on anything. I think they should have a ranking system like they're doing boxing, like they're doing UFC, like they're doing AEW now, just to make things a little bit more important. It means that when you want to make a random match between someone and a champion, it could be because that person's been on a run. So, for example, you wouldn't put Roman Reigns versus Chad Gable, would you? But if Chad Gable had won his last 6 matches and it was on a record and it said that Chad Gable lost 1, won 6, drawn 2, then it's like, okay, he's ranked number 2 in the company now, so he should fight number 1, which is the champion. And then that way you can have championship matches on Raw or SmackDown, and then you can have the pay-per-view match, or you can have it lead into the pay-per-view. Because at the moment, I mean, to be honest, if Seth Rollins had a ranking at the moment, he would say on the bottom for 2022, like 1-6 and lost like 27 or something like that. But I just think it makes it more important. It makes everyone seem more important as well. But we'll see, man. But it's been fun, man. I'm gonna get the hell out of here because you already know. Here for a good time, not a long one. It's been fun. Anyone who comes in later on to the show, make sure you drop a comment so I can read that and let me know your thoughts on Savage Talk coming back. Anyone who's left a comment on this channel before in the last couple of months and hadn't had a response from me, I apologize. What I've done is the reason why I started Savage Talk in the beginning, it was a lot to do with the fact that I could speak to the people without having to, you know what I mean? The more subscribers you get, it's harder to reply to all the comments. And anyone knows I do. If it's a good question, I'll reply with an answer to it. If it's just like a hello Savage, I hope you're good, then I'll reply with the heart. It means that I've acknowledged it. But when I was getting more and more like interesting comments, I was like, okay, if I do it on a live stream and everyone joins the live stream, I can just answer on that. And obviously, if the live stream gets too much, send a super chat in, I can answer it on the screen. So that's the reason on it. So I'm going to do that. But obviously, anyone who knows, I got 3 YouTube channels, so trying to work in between all of them, and I got regular work as well. So, but big up to everyone in the chat, anyone who come along now, anyone in the crowd who comes along later. Big up to all you guys. Yeah, it's been fun. Of course, man. Extreme Rules. We're gonna do this, bro. We're gonna do this, man. YouTube membership's coming soon as well. Trying to figure out how the copyright works on there. If anyone knows how it works, let me know. Or I'm just gonna have to go speak to a couple of other YouTubers that I know, and then they can let me know on that as well. Because on that we're gonna do retro Raw, retro SmackDown, and old pay-per-views as well, and promos. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, man. You guys take care of yourself. I've been your boy Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Run.